and welcome to Flipped Maths with Mrs. D. Hoog. Today our topic is capacity, and we are learning to use a measuring jug to measure capacity. Start off with the key words. Capacity is the amount an object can hold, and it is usually measured using liquids, like water. Volume, on the other hand, is the amount of space taken up by an object. I'm putting in this definition for volume because some people get very confused between what capacity is and what volume is. So just an example to demonstrate both of those is an esky. An esky, so the amount of room it takes up in a cupboard is its volume, but the amount it can hold is its capacity. The amount it can hold inside is its capacity. So just pause the video now and record these definitions, these keywords, onto your maths homework sheet. Alright, so now we're just going to look at some examples on how we can actually measure capacity. Usually when you're trying to find the capacity of an object, you would pour the water into the object you want to find the capacity of, all the way to the top of the object, and then you would pour all of that water into a measuring jug, similar to this one that I have drawn here. Just write measuring jug. Now measuring jugs can come in lots of different types, or different shapes and forms. I just got two examples here. This one here starts at 100, or starts at this one here, and goes all the way up to 600 milliliters. Sorry. And this one over here goes all the way up to 2,000 milliliters, and it starts at this line here. I forgot to mention in the introduction that with capacity we measure it in milliliters, which can be written like this. Just right underneath, milliliters, and liters, capital L for liters. So that's what these symbols are showing on these measuring jugs. Now let's go through some examples. Now we'll just follow the steps as we have for the last few videos on measurement. What is the scale? So let's have a look at this first one for now. We'll put the other one away. Let's have a look at the scale. What's it going up by? This line here is not shown, but this one here is. It says 100, 200, 300, and all the way. So these big lines, these longer lines, are going up by 100. So I know half of 100 is 50, so the scale is 50. 50 milliliters, as it says there. So I'll just write the scale here is 50 milliliters. So we need to count up in 50s, or 50 milliliters, at each line. And then make sure we record with the symbol. So let's look at an example first. Imagine I had poured some water into this measuring jug, and the line of the water reached this one here. It went up to this line here. This shows 500, so it's 500 milliliters. And make sure that when you're recording that anywhere, you record the symbol at the end to show what it is. It's in milliliters. Alright, so let's look at another example. What if the line went up to here with water? Let's just imagine it hits that line right there. So this one here, we know that it's going up in 50s, so I go 200, 250. That's it. It's as simple as that. As soon as you realize, or as soon as you understand how to figure out the scale and then use that to help you out, then it'll be much easier for you to work out these sorts of problems. And let's look at another one. Let's say this one down here. We know that this is going up in 50 milliliters each time. So the first line is 50 milliliters. That's it. That's the answer. So let's have a look at this one over here. This scale is a little bit different. You've got to remember that every time you look at a measuring jug, you've got to check the scale and to see what it's going up by each time before you read the scale. So here we've got these lines here leading up to 1,000, then 2,000 milliliters. So we can start off by saying, I wonder if it's in 100s. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Not correct. What about 200? 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. Perfect. So that's what it's going up by. It's going up by 200 milliliters each time. That's our scale. So each time we count in 200s. So let me show you an example now. Imagine I had poured in water from another container to see what the capacity of that container was. Pour it into my measuring jug, and it goes to this line here. To this line here. That's right, it's 1,000 milliliters, or it's 1 litre. And I could just put it up here. 1 litre is the same as 1,000 milliliters. Very similar with grams and kilograms. Alright, so another example would be at this line here. So we know it goes up in 200s, so I go start at 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. So that's my answer, 1,400 milliliters. Or I could have written 1.4 litres. Alright, so just looking at one more example, and then you can have a go on your own. This one here, all the way across. We know it's going up in 200 litres each time. That first line is our first line, so it's 200 milliliters is our answer for that one there. Alright, so now it's your turn to have a go. Remember, you can pause the video and rewind it if at any point things aren't making sense for you. So, now it's your turn. Make sure your math sheet's ready to go and a pencil, and record the following answers on your homework sheet. Well, figure out the answers first. Alright, so we have this line here. If the water goes up to there, all that water down there, all the way down there, what is the capacity? What is it? Alright, the second one. Just fix that one up. There we go. Third one, remember to pause the video if you need more time to try and read the scale. Third one is this one here, all the way across the other side and down. Fourth one. And what should I do? Lucky last. There we go. Alright. And I'm just going to go through two examples, or two questions on this one here. So the fifth question will be, what is the capacity of this one here? Say the line goes to there. And last question, if the line goes to there, what is the capacity? Just imagining that there's water down here. Alright. Make sure you get your math sheet already on your desk, hopefully. Make sure you record at least one real world example of this topic in box 3 on your maths homework sheet, and any questions or comments that you still have in box 4. And thank you so much for watching and listening to this video, and I really hope it has helped you understand this topic of capacity.